Hi there. Welcome back to Sunnyside Journals. I'm doing a little more seasonal work because 'tis the season. I was working this morning here. I was doing a little bit of work in Holly. I think she's almost done. And now I'm doing a little bit of work in a Christmas book. And I thought sometimes I have to work with the camera not going. And let's just move this over here. Hold on, I'm going to adjust the camera. Get this more centered. There we go. Sometimes I just work better without the camera going. And I just get on a roll, and that's a good thing. On the other hand, I was going to start something, and I thought I should turn on the camera because this probably isn't going to be 30 minutes. But it's a cool thing to do if you're like me. Oh, hold on, I've got stamp pads without. Oh my goodness, I've got all kinds of things here without their lids on. See, I wasn't kidding. I've been working and having a wonderful time and listening to Christmas music. It's been fun. Anyhow, if you're like me and you've got these things that I'm going to show you, think about doing it. It's a fun little thing to do. What else did I do in here this morning? I did some collaging on some file folders, and I always like to have a good sturdy tuck spot at the front and the back. And although these little choir people are also tuck spots, they're mostly just to put one little sheet here or there. Maybe you've got a photo. These ones will be stronger. If you want to stuff a whole Christmas card in there or something, rather than the little people are more of a tuck spot rather than a pocket, if you know what I mean. Anyhow, I have a page back here, and it's in a color I don't usually use. I'm not a huge blue person. Isn't that incredible? And I would dare say it's one of the most favorite colors out there. When I talk to people, I feel like 75% of the people I ever talk to, oh, blue is my favorite color, they'll say. I mean, even my husband, blue is his favorite color. They love blue. It's just not usually the one I go to when I'm craving something. When I'm craving peace and calm, I like browns and ivory creams and really soft, dusty greens. And then when I'm craving fun and a pop of color, I gotta say, my favorite color is a beautiful warm red. I love a warm red. Love it. Anyhow, but I've got blue here, and I wanted to have a little bit of balance and maybe have some blue over here. And I thought this is out of a book that I had on Christmas, and I think it was a postcard, but because this was out of a book, of course, that's the other side of the page. And it's got Father Christmas there, or St. Nicholas, or Good King Wenceslas, or he's a fatherly Christmas figure, elderly, holding the Christ child. And I liked the shades of blue here, and I liked the little pops of gold there. And I want to turn it back into a postcard. And here's something you can do. Let me move this little book out of the way for the time being. I snap up just about any postcards that I see at thrift stores, even when it's kind of an ugly looking vintage card that, I mean, I think that's like the Swiss Alps or the Matterhorn or something there. And no offense to anyone who thinks it's beautiful, it is, but I want to make this into a Christmas postcard to make it a journaling spot. So what you can do is, I want to use the back of this postcard. Isn't that beautiful? I love all the different languages there, And I love the color of the paper now because, I mean, this is vintage. It's definitely vintage. But I want Father Christmas on there instead. Now, I held it up to my window all ready to check, and as long as I glue it right in the center there, the printing on the back will be fine. So, what we're going to do first is, this is glossy, and I want my glue to hold. So I'm going to take this shine off. And I'm just using my sanding block. And it will just, sorry if you're jiggling. My tripod is up on my desk, so you're going to feel the earth move for a few more seconds. Just want to get this off of here. Make it good and rough. There we go. And I want to get all the dust off, so I'm just going to do it over here. So I dropped it. Hold on. I'm here. There we go. I just don't want dust all over my desk. So I'm dusting it over here, and if I start sneezing soon, I apologize. All right, so we've got that. Now, let me get a piece of paper for gluing on. All right, so I am going to do my preferred combination for fairly sturdy paper, but I still want a good hold. So I'm going to use glue stick. I find I don't mind too much the Scotch permanent glue stick. Glue stick's not my favorite, but when I combine it with art glitter glue, then I'm a happy girl. So I count on the glue stick for the interior, and I count on the art glitter glue to hold those edges down so that it doesn't start wearing and lifting, especially on corners. There we go. Hold on, and I'm going to go in and just very lightly go around here. If this was antique paper, I would probably err on the side of using aerosol glue. And probably none of this. This will show through on aerosol paper very easily. Now, I want to make sure that I have this the way I want it. I'm going to stand up. There we go. And I want it mostly just trying to remember where I wanted it. Oh, I'm getting glue on you. Oh, I'm going to leave you alone and roll you off when you're dry. Catherine, don't fall for that. It's so tempting to want to try and... I've got a bit of glue there. I'm going to let that dry. So I'm going to avoid it. And then I'm going to use my eraser and erase it. All right, where is it? There we go. All right, I'm happy. Okay, phew. Disaster averted. There we go. So that's down. And I want, you. And I want clear ruler. It's just so I can see where I'm cutting. Hope you're all doing well today. I've got a lot of lights here going. I hope it's not too glary, but it's really overcast day here in my neck of the woods. It's kind of gloomy and cold and damp. But I get all the lights going in here. I even dragged out my seasonal effective light. I've got one of those lights that apparently gives you the good, the healthy UV rays that help for those who the winter darkness really can affect their personality. I don't find that for me, and I necessarily feel depressed or anything, but I do find I feel cheerier working at my desk when I've got a bright natural light. So I have a nice natural light in my ring light up above, but I just find that, hold on, that just that little extra of having my daylight light going over here. There we go. And there we go. See how I was able to save the word there and even save that little bit there. Simply by holding it up to the window and seeing where the shadow fell so that I could save all that. Anyhow, I find for me on dark days, or if I'm here in my room a little early in the morning, it's also easier on my eyes. I have difficulty doing really fussy work in poor lighting. Now I want to clean this. It's got some of the blue ink on it, so believe it or not, I'm going to dust it and get any of the light blue ink off of it. And I'm going to I want to just rough up this edge a little bit because an old postcard would not have crisp edges. So especially those corners, I'm going to just give them a little bit of bashing and bend them a little bit. So that they, so it looks like it's in its former glory. Alrighty, little gathered twigs, just for the raw edge where we glued it together, and it's recut edge, so it's really fresh looking. And we don't want fresh looking. Give us old, right? We like the old, the grimy, the grungy, the previously loved. There we go. And now I think on this side, I'm just going to go in with some antique linen instead and just yellow it a bit. There. That looks nice. That looks like what I wanted it to look like. So let me stand up. So there we go. We've got, let's just call him Father Christmas, St. Nicholas. And there we go. So now it looks like, sorry, I find antique linen has a bit of a texture to it, and I learned why. Ha ha ha. I looked into the distress inks and oxides versus just using a regular pad of pigment ink, because a lot of journal creators just use this to do their antiquing, and I have in the past. But I wanted to know, what is it about distress oxide and distress ink, these guys here, what was Tim Holtz looking to create when he made these instead of just pushing, his Ranger line? I've got some Ranger inks here too. And apparently these are designed to stay wet a little bit longer than what a regular ink pad is, so that you can blend it a little bit more. And it's a little more translucent. It's not the vivid dark color that you get from an ink pad. A little more translucent, therefore more layerable, and stays wet longer. And I certainly can feel that. I'm always aware of it, especially with the antique linen. For some reason, I guess the ingredient in whatever the yellow pigment is that they use, I can feel it. And I don't mind it because it goes away, but it's always there at the beginning. Anyhow, so I want him on this side in some way, but I don't know yet how. So I'm simply going to hold him there for now, just with a paper clip, so that I know I want him there. I want with the blue. I think that feels nice. I still have more to do, but that's it for today. That's what I mean when I said short and sweet. And I'm going to actually go downstairs and put the kettle on. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.